So on to this story now. The Companies and Intellectual Property Commission has deregistered the Congress of People Party. COPE members Willie, Madisha and Mzwandile Hleko say accounting officer Mosiuoa Lekota breached fiduciary duty to the party. They allege that Lekota did not comply with the Companies Act and has caused injury to the party. But let's get more details on what this means for COPE. We're joined by COPE Spokesperson Mr. Dennis Bloem via Zoom. Mr. Bloem, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think let's start here. Can you in fact confirm that COPE has been deregistered with the CIPC?
Well, good morning and good morning to the viewers. I was also shocked when I was confronted with this information. I must say that I personally, and I'm sure many of the COPE members were not aware that COPE was registered as a company. This is news to me. I am shocked that COPE was in fact registered as a company by Mr. Lekota and some other people. But I can confirm because I've seen this letter that came from Mr. Deputy President Madisha and Tate Hleko's lawyers.
Okay, maybe then it's important for us to take a step back, because as the spokesperson of the party, you're saying you had no knowledge that the party was registered as a company. So, in your understanding, let's talk about the registrations that you did know prior to this that COPE did have.
No, I am saying to you that I am shocked. This is news to me. I was never aware that COPE was registered as a company. I know that COPE is a political party, but now this type of thing is happening.
Okay, so I mean, what is the interaction then with Mr. Lekota? And we can then go back and forth about what Mr. Madisha and Mr. Hleko are alleging, but we'll get to that. What communication are you getting from Mr. Lekota around the registration of COPE?
I must say that I'm not in contact with Mr. Lekota, and I think that the media can get a better answer from Mr. Lekota and Mr. Hleko.
Has COPE been deregistered as a political party? So, I mean, what are the implications of this going to be for the party going into next year's elections?
Well, Naledi, let me tell you, this is not about COPE being deregistered as a political party by the IEC. What I was reading is that it's the Companies Act that have deregistered COPE as a company. So with other words, COPE as a company does not exist. That is what these lawyers' letters are saying.
What is okay? So let's talk about what's next then for the party and your registration, even with the IEC. And I did mention this earlier. We're going into the 2024 national elections. What does this mean for the party? What's the plan now with the IEC?
Well, Naledi, this letter was addressed to the IEC. It is now in the hands of the IEC. I can't speak on behalf of the IEC, what the IEC will decide. But the IEC will look into this matter and take a decision. But we as a party, I think we must organize an urgent meeting, a CNC meeting, to address this, because this is having serious implications for the future of the Congress of the People. It's not a child's play. It's a very serious matter. And I think that we must call an urgent meeting to discuss this whole thing.
Yeah, just lastly, before I let you go, and I think that this is obviously going to be an ongoing discussion. Just on Twitter, people already talking about how this is a party that had over 1 million voters in 2009. So, you know, the constant declining of support for COPE really quite concerning, I can imagine, for the party. And now this issue, right? How is it that Mr. Madisha believes that Mr. Lekota has betrayed his fiduciary duties? I mean, let's get into that. And how do you then deal with the leadership squabbles that seem to be really taking up so much of the party's attention?
You know, Naledi, is so painful.
Okay. Oh, goodness, I really wish that we could continue with that line, but it seems that connectivity giving us some trouble there, but we're going to be bringing you more as that story unfolds. That the spokesperson for the Congress of the People, Mr. Dennis Bloem. You're still watching The Agenda? Let's take a